So you want to start a business, but you feel like it's already been done before. There are so many people out there already doing it. The market's oversaturated. What could you possibly add to the conversation? What's the point? But here's the thing. Where do I start? Firstly, everything's been done before. Everything, like, I have so many books down here that you can't see, and most of them are talking on similar topics. But the thing is, they each have their own different perspective on things. So there may be hundreds of business coaches out there. There may be heaps of fitness instructors or recipe books. But think about books that you've consumed or read, recipe books that you use, or TV shows that you watch. There's always space for more because you find the one that suits you. Or it's like art. You could have too much art, but just because you like a certain artwork doesn't mean you're not going to like another artwork. So if you're an artist or if you're anything else, the work that you put out there comes out there in your own unique style. It comes in your own voice with your own take on things, your perspective, your experiences. Everything is bundled together on this particular topic that you want to teach, but it comes in this energetic ball of you, and you are giving it, you're like translating it through yourself, through your perspectives, and bundling it up and giving this of yourself. I have read so many books, learned from so many different teachers, but they each do it in a different way and they each bring value. So that's the first thing you need to know, that you are valuable, you are different and unique just for being who you are. You may be focusing on the thing that you're creating and think, well, this is really similar to other things that are out there. But to other people, they see how it's different. They see how it's delivered differently. They see how your personality is different, or your perspective is different, your experience is different. It just is coming from a slightly different angle. And that is where the value is, that it comes from you. There is no one else in this world like you. So just through that alone, there is no way that the market can be saturated, because your market, your audience, the people you are destined to help, the market is you. It's only you. There's only one you. And you've been spending your entire life with yourself, so you're just used to it. It's just normal to be around you. But for other people, you are something special. You have something special, and we don't always notice it about ourselves because, like I say, we're in our heads constantly. We get to talk to ourselves whenever. We don't notice. We can't see what we're like from the outside. That's just the nature of being in this human body, is that we don't fully get to experience what it's like to experience ourselves from the outside. So you're beautiful and you're unique, and you have these gifts that are being called to come forth through you. The word desire literally means of the sire, of the Father, of God. Your desires are placed in you. They're divinely destined to be yours. When you have a desire, it's not just an arbitrary thing. It's actually something that is placed in you for a reason. Where do you think desires come from? They are placed in you because they are directing you through life. They are directing you and guiding you along this path for which you are destined. Everybody is here for a reason. Everyone has something to bring, something to share, light to shed on something. And I'm guessing that you're watching this video, you know what it is. You have a passion, you have a calling, you have something to share. And too often we think that we need to have this great big purpose. It needs to be spoken out to us in neon lights. And yet it's usually the obvious thing. The thing that's ordinary to us, the thing that comes easily, the thing that we just like to do, that's usually the thing. So you have this thing within you, and You know you want to share it, but everyone's done it before. You are different. And here's the other thing. Those other people, you see this market, everyone's doing it. You see it on Facebook, you see it on social media, you see it pop up everywhere in your life, and you think everyone's doing it, everyone's interested in this. It's all been done before. But the thing is, the internet is this whole different world where algorithms are working. Algorithms are working behind the scenes and data mining to find out who you are and what you're into. And they are going to bombard you with that stuff because they want to advertise to you. And so it looks like everyone's doing it. There are so many coaches out there, or there are so many, like for me, it's all spiritual stuff, manifestation stuff, money mindset, coaches. And I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was saying, oh, everyone's doing fitness stuff, body-based things, teaching yoga, whatever. We each see things from our different perspective. I know people who say, oh, the internet's full of, cooking stuff, or it's full of computer stuff, or it's full of Lego, or it's full of plants, or it's full of crochet. It's not. You are tapping into this tiny little portion of the internet because that is your home. Those are the things that they're your people. Not necessarily the people who want to buy from you, but the other coaches and the other leaders in your area. So when you see them, other people doing the same thing, know that the internet is seeking out these people and pulling them together and putting them in front of you so that, because it thinks you might buy it. But if you want to teach it, know that that's not everyone. The people who are popping up, sure, there might be hundreds of them or thousands of them, but there are over 7 billion people in this world, and not everyone is being served and helped and supported and guided yet. So I teach manifestation, and there are heaps of other manifestation teachers out there, but you know what? Aside from the fact that there are so many people who need to be helped, and aside from the fact that you are unique, people like to learn from more than one person. I have read hundreds of books. I have taken multiple courses because I love to think about this stuff, to talk about this stuff, to learn about it from a different perspective, to get that one aha moment, or to just hear about someone's different experiences. I love to hear people's backstories, so I always read the books. I'm looking down here because you can't see my bookshelf. So there is space for everyone, and there is space for you. There are people out there waiting to hear it from you in your own unique way. Start to see other people in whatever sphere you want to teach in, or whatever sphere you want to have a business in. See them not as your competitors, but as your sisters, as your peers, as your friends, as your tribe. These are people who are working with you to support people in the same areas. Offline, in more tangible businesses, sure, we have like retail. Retail is kind of competitive, like, oh, people are only going to buy a certain amount of food or clothes, so we have to try and get them to come to our store. But with other things like psychologists, I can't imagine psychologists would be feeling intimidated or competing against each other, like, oh, I want to help all the people, or there's not enough people in the world for me to help. What about, I don't know, fun parks? Is fun parks a good example? Fun parks are all slightly different and slightly unique, and the same person might go to all of them. So it's not necessarily a competition to have different ones. Like, is Legoland intimidated by Disneyland, or do they just understand that they're delivering a similar thing in their own unique way? So start to see these people like your peers, like your sisters, like people who are doing similar work to you in order to create, like, they're on the same mission as you, If you want to help people create beautiful food and beautiful meals for their family to enhance their enjoyment of life, you doing that and someone else doing that doesn't mean, I've got to wiggle my mouse, I can't see the screen anymore. It doesn't mean that that person is taking your clients or your potential clients. It does not mean that. So shift your perspective around that. Start to see people, don't see competitors. See these people as your peers. Start to see the market as, you know what, I gotta say one more thing. The fact that there is a big market for something, the fact that it seems oversaturated, means that there's demand, and that's a good thing. If there weren't other people doing the same thing as you, my business coach James Wedmore says, you should be a little bit worried, because maybe there isn't a market for it. Maybe there is and it just hasn't been tapped into, but usually it's best to see that there's a market for something. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, because the internet is huge. There are all kinds of people in this world. I was just listening to a podcast episode with James Wedmore and Stu McLaren, and Stu was saying that he has someone in his group who has, for over 10 years, has run a membership on how to make your own corsets. That is so niche. There are thousands, millions, yeah, I would say millions of niches out there in the world. Whatever you have to offer, it's probably desired and needed by someone. So those are my tips. What were they? Let's see. There is only one you. The market is you. There's no one else like you. What's the one I just said? Oh my gosh. I lose my train of thought sometimes. I think I need to go have some water. And see people not as your competitors, but as your peers. Oh yeah, and know that the market being full and abundant is a good sign for you. It's not oversaturated. So share your business, share your gift. We want to hear it. We want to hear it from you. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to be shy. We just want to meet you. That's really what online business is. It's just connecting with each other and sharing what we have to share. So I'm really excited to hear from you and to see what you have to offer and bring into the world to help make this a more full and abundant world, and a place filled with people who are following their passions and living their most fulfilled life and being their most expansive self. If you connected with me, click the subscribe button, and then I'll chat to you in future videos. I'm sorry I keep looking up and down. I don't know if I should look into the webcam or at the video, but it really doesn't matter. The point is the message. I'll catch you in the next video. Mwah. Here's the awkward bit where I press stop.